So, back for another Funconventional, and this time we're going to be looking at Poliwrath. Only just picking out the charger bug in the poll. It was quite a close one this time, but Poliwrath was the winner, so we're going to be using Poliwrath in this upcoming Believe in Boyt. And yeah, Poliwrath really got the short straw going back in the previous generations. I've always wanted to use Keldeo. Like, back in 2016, I just had the perfect team if I could just have Keldeo. But then we had to settle with Poliwrath as our water fighting type for such a long time. And then it doesn't have close combat for so many generations. The moment it gets close combat to actually become reasonably viable, Rapid Strike Urshifu was released. So then you're just going to use that instead of Poliwrath. So really, really poor Poliwrath. Just really not being that viable in previous formats. This is probably the most viable it's been for a long time, especially with access to close combat now. But the fact that it has Dynamax to pair with Swift Swim as well, being able to set its own weather with the max geysers that it can go for, so it doesn't actually need rain, not manual rain. Manual rain is rain dance. Drizzle is drizzle. But yeah, it can set its own rain and also increase its attack while it's attacking with max knuckles now. So it's definitely become a lot more viable. Still don't know if it's worth, but it's viable now. But then yeah, you might as well use Rapid Strike Urshifu pretty much. But I'm going to be using this belly drum set, because I don't want to just go with the standard sweep, or try and just immediately sweep in the rain. I'm going to try and go for something a little bit more fun with this Poliwrath. So I'm going to be trying the belly drum set with Drain Punch instead of close combat for this one, because if you're hitting at +6, it doesn't really matter how strong you are, and you might as well get some recovery. And then max knuckles are pretty much the same coming off Drain Punch and close combat anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter too much there. But I haven't put in too much attack into the Poliwrath because I'm hoping to try and belly drum every single game that I bring it to. But then that allows it, because the belly drum means you don't need to put too much into attack, that gives enough bulk that it can survive an unboosted Grassy Glide from Rillaboom, which is actually quite nice. And that means it will get 2 shots by it when it's in its Dynamax form as well. And also means that it will survive a Wood Hammer in its Dynamax, which is quite nice as well. And then just outspeeds an Adamant Tyranitar as well, in case you're not in the rain, because if a Tyranitar switched in, you're probably not in the rain. So yeah, it should be reasonable. I'm going to try and get as many belly drum sweeps off as I can going into the Funconventional, but this set is probably the better one for Poliwrath. But it's pretty basic, isn't it? It's just Life Orb hit hard. You definitely want close combat over Drain Punch if you're going with just the Life Orb Poliwrath set. Because that means that you don't need to go for Dynamax as much with your Poliwrath, because close combat is stronger than max knuckle, so that would be a lot better for the Poliwrath. But it's pretty basic. Like, there's not really too much else that Poliwrath can do that other Pokemon can't do better. Like, it can do some cool like Hypnosis stuff, but so many other Pokemon can do that. Like, just be a Milotic if you're doing that. You've got like Encore as well that you can do, which like very fast Encores is not too bad as well. When you're paired with Swift Swim. We saw Golduck run Encore quite a bit back in 2017 when that was the primary Swift Swimmer. But Encore is a little bit nerfed in this generation, because you can just Dynamax out of the Encore, but it's still entirely viable. Like, only one Pokemon Dynamaxes. The other 3 can be Encore quite easily. But yeah, really you probably should go with this set, but I just want to try out a little bit more fun set. So I'm going to be going with the belly drum for this upcoming Believe in Boyt. So that's going to be it for Poliwrath. I would say what you should pair with it. Pair it with Politoed or Pelipper. That was pretty straightforward. So yeah, the Charge Bug, like I said, was very close to winning the poll in the last week. So I'm going to be putting Charger Bug back into a contention for this one, as well as Scizor and Weezing. That would be both Weezings. I'd probably use the Galarian Weezing in the Believe in Boyt, but I would cover both Weezings if Weezing was able to win. So please go into the comments and like the Pokemon that you want to be featured on the next Funconventional. Also put into the comments Pokemon you want to be considered for the poll for the next Funconventional as well, and make sure you like those comments as well, because I use the likes on the non-poll comments to be able to determine which ones are most likely to go into the poll for the next week. So please go into the comments and do the things. Thanks for watching.